Hey folks, here are OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of the Novete night light. This is kind of an interesting light because it has what's called a pat control. So it's not touch sensitive, but there is a sensor in there that detects force as well as vibration. So if you knock on it, it changes the luminosity of the light. It's also completely waterproof, which makes it a great option if you're outdoors, maybe hiking or want to take it when traveling. And best of all, it's also a wirelessly charging night light. So it has this wireless charging base. I'm not sure if it's using the standard Qi wireless QI technology, but it does work fairly well. It uses just LEDs and it simulates the same kind of hue as the actual flame, so you can kind of change the tone as well, which is interesting to see. Again, you can find it on Amazon for sub 25 bucks, which isn't too bad for something that can last you for a long time. And since it is rechargeable, you don't have to worry about batteries dying over time. So you can see on the sides here, again, you have 3 different brightness modes: pat to control, shockproof, and also waterproof, and also that wireless charging. It uses a micro USB cable to plug into power for the charging pad, but again, the light itself is actually completely wireless. So in here, there's just the aforementioned cable. It has a pretty nice 2-meter long cable length, so you can connect it to the wall and not worry about it in terms of the length, and set it up maybe even next to a desk or perhaps by the bed if you want to use it as a lamp. So this is the base, which is the wireless charging component. You can see that it has many ripples kind of flowing through it, and that's how the bottom of the light actually aligns with the wireless charging pad. And since it is kind of the circular design, it doesn't really matter where you're placing it on. You can be any angle and it will fully charge. It charges up in roughly 4 to 5 hours, so it definitely takes a bit longer than I expected compared to something like a Qi smartphone. So that's something to keep in mind. It can be operated during charging, however, so you can turn it on and still use it when it's in the charging mode. There's an LED light on the sides here which will turn on and glow green when it is charging, and once the charging has been completed, it's going to stop flashing. The back just features some basic info about the device, and you can see that it's using a 5-volt 1-amp input, the micro USB tip, and that's basically it. There is no rubber feet on the bottom, however, so it makes the pad a little bit easy to slide around on a surface or a desk. So if we take a quick look at the light itself, again, it has a peculiar shape to it. It reminds me of a teardrop, and again, you do have to apply a little bit of force to turn it on or off. So there are 3, again, different modes. The first mode is just the kind of the dimmest setting, and again, it does remind me a lot of a candle light. So it has this slightly yellowish tint to it. It's a little hard to capture on camera, but it is fairly warm and makes for a nice ambiance if you are using it in a smaller environment, perhaps some mood lighting or for night reading at night. And otherwise, there's just the company's logo. It's made out of polycarbonate. It is completely sealed, so that makes it waterproof. It doesn't exactly float on water, even though it kind of tries to. Sometimes it will sink, so that's something to keep in mind. Otherwise, again, it is fairly durable and rugged. So if I tap on it again, that takes me to the second mode, which is kind of the brightest setting. It's bright enough to, again, be used for night reading, but it's not going to be bright enough for, let's say, you're doing homework and you don't have any lights on in the room. The third mode is kind of the flickering candle mode. It's going to actually flicker back and forth, as you can see there. So that really simulates the experience of an actual candle or a flame. So that's pretty interesting. Tap on it again to turn it completely off. Battery life here is excellent. It's just an LED light, so it's going to last you for I would say over 20 to 30 hours before you need to recharge it again, and the process itself is quite simple and easy. The only complaint I have is really with the touch sensor. It's a little finicky in the sense that if you have it maybe next to a desk and you accidentally touch it in the middle of the night, it will turn on. So the force, it's a little easy to turn on by accident. So if you keep it or travel with it in a bag, if it kind of vibrates and you're moving around, it's also going to turn on by itself. So perhaps a safety feature or a better feature in the future would be some kind of switch to turn the entire process on or off, and once it's on, you can then tap on it to change the mode. But otherwise, the tapping works anywhere. So I can tap on the top and it will work. I can tap on the sides, it will work, so there's no preference there. You can check out more details about this very peculiar nightlight in our official written review, but for now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This has been the Novete wireless charging nightlight.